I'm feeling some energy. I'm really excited about our next presenter because Samala is going to bring up a topic that I am willing to believe, but it's going to take me a while to get there because the topic is why your smartphone is actually a bigger bigot than Donald Trump. So I'm looking forward to hearing this. Samala, come on up. Welcome her.
Thanks. I don't know if I'm really happy that Leanne put me after her because I feel worthy or really upset that I have to follow a standing ovation. Before I jump in, I actually would love to get the house lights up just for like a little bit. I want to start with a quick poll. Yes? No? I'll properly introduce myself in a second. Maybe we can't get the house lights up? It's okay, I can mostly see you outside of the glare. If you could please stand up if you've ever had your photo taken. If you're sitting still, you're either a liar or I've already lost you. Please stay standing if you've had your photo taken on a smartphone. All right, 2 more questions. Please stay standing if you've ever had your photo taken and didn't totally love it. If you're sitting down, you're awesome. Now, final question. Stay standing if the reason why you didn't love how you looked in the photo is because you actually weren't that visible. Like you literally weren't visible in the photo. Have you ever been reduced to just eyes or teeth in a photograph, is what I'm getting at. Now, if you're still standing, thank you, and thank you for everyone for indulging me, and everyone could please take a seat. If you were standing at that last question, you might have an idea of where this is going. If you were not in that last group, I have some very important news to tell you, and I'm sorry if I'm the first one to bring this to your attention, but you should know there's a good chance that your phone is indeed racist. I have some puzzled looks, some incredulity, some people are like, Now seems like a good time to introduce myself. Hello, world. I'm Samala. You could find what I do professionally, what I have done professionally online, specifically this link. Thank you, Leanne, for the website and your team. But the things that you won't necessarily get to know about me on the interwebs are that I'm aware of many hats, literally and figuratively. I'm a member of many communities, including this one, and I'm a stirrer of many pots. And the pots that I would like to stir with you all today, this afternoon, are photography, racial justice, and technology. And in the spirit of Flashback Friday, and for the sake of giving you some context why I care so damn much about your phone probably being a bigot, this is me in 2nd grade. I'm the one in the middle. I'm the one with bangs and without the teeth. And I grew up in the lower Hudson Valley in a really wonderfully diverse environment. I had friends of every size, shape, color, creed, friends who checked out at the grocery store with EBT cards, and friends who hosted parties in their Great Gatsby-like mansions along the Hudson River. And I was blessed with this experience from elementary, middle, and high school through public education. And then I got to the Wharton and Annenberg schools at Penn, and things looked a little differently for me. It felt a little differently. I still maintained diversity in my life, but for the first time, it was work. Conscious effort on my part was required to make sure that my social circles were what I grew up with. And then I left undergrad, and I got my first real job, and my colleagues looked a lot like this. I'm pretty sure I actually don't need to say much more about this given who's in the room, but my 9 to 5, I was surrounded by a lot of white dudes because of my profession. Thankfully, in my evening hours on the weekends, I still had the dopest, most diverse, most fun, AKA awesome friends. And one night with said awesome friends, we had this both horrifying and fascinating epiphany. This is the night of said epiphany. These are my friends, Everett, Anthony, and Everett's wonderful daughter, Damiana. And our schedules don't overlap all that much. It's like a really rare thing that all of us can hang out at the same time. So we do what is a fairly standard thing. Let's take a photo. So we asked this nice stranger next to us, hey, would you mind taking a photo of us? Stranger happily obliges. And this is all very normal and like par for the course until the stranger is taking an awkwardly long amount of time to take this photo, like had a mini photo shoot, like please step forward and like please tilt your head. No, too far. I'm just like, all right, dude, like it just needed a couple photos. But then he hands the phone back to us, and we scroll through the photos that he took, of which there were many, and it becomes really clear why he took as many photos as he did and why he consistently repositioned us. It's because in some photos, you see my face in perfect contrast and features, and Anthony, who's the darkest of us in the photo, is reduced to teeth. And then in other photos, Anthony looks, his handsome, dark brown skin colored self, and I'm reduced to like this light brown oval where facial features should be. And the horrifying epiphany that we collectively had was we live in an era where we have self-driving cars. We live in an era where we can conceive of and construct totally virtual environments and interact in them and socialize in these virtual spaces. But we can't figure out how to have smartphones with consistency display all people of all skin tones all at the same time. Really? We live in the age of photovoltaics and selfies. And this is a problem that we still have. And once I'd calmed down and I stopped having my mind blown in a really weird, kind of like terrible way, went home, went to the Googles, and discovered some really interesting things. And by interesting, I mean super insidious racism that has managed to get coded into our most ubiquitous piece of technology. And dun dun dun, I would like to introduce you to the Shirleys. Is anyone here familiar with Shirley cards, out of curiosity? Yes, I like the furiously waving. Yes, you know what I'm about to talk about. So Shirley is an actual woman who worked as a staff model at Kodak. Shirley Page has the unfortunate distinction of being a woman who was used to normalize whiteness as the standard for print photography. These cards were literally used. They say, like you see, it says normal if you can't see the resolution well enough. This is how we calibrated for skin tone correctness. Like, this is a real thing. There are so many, they're all terrible and awesome, like really 90s stuff, really 80s stuff. It's interesting, but in a bad way. And the thing with the Shirley cards is that it's not the only way in which we've had racism coded into our photo technology. Just think about the advent of it, right? In the 1800s, who economically even had access to it? Affluent whites. So that's like, from jump, we started there. And in its very recent history, we had the Shirley cards. Now, we've shifted to mostly digital photography, but this is still something that affects how we interact with photos and pictures. In anything other than less optimal lighting, you get shit like this. This is my dear friend Anthony, who was just in that other photo that someone went to great pains to make sure we were all visible, and I love that stranger for that. But this is Anthony and his wife Sky on their wedding day, arguably one of the most momentous occasions in their entire life, and he is reduced to a tux with a black circle on top. Another example, imagine being my friend John in this photo where, you're having like a nice reunion with your friends, so you want to take a photo only to be made literally invisible. We're literally invisibilizing people with laziness that is, it's just like bad carryover. I don't think there are willfully ignorant people being like, ha ha ha, like make the dark people invisible. I hope not. I really hope that's not the case. But like, this is fixable. Not everything in racial justice, gender equality, environmental justice, all these important issues that we grapple with are fixable and easy. Some things are gonna take, for instance, state-sanctioned violence towards predominantly black and brown bodies. That's gonna take lifetimes, movements, generations, sustained leadership, policy change, shifts in cultural norms. A lot of work. And it's all work that we should be doing. And in the meantime, when we're going for those moonshots, let's fucking fix this. This is something actually everyone in this room probably, if we all went in on a venture together, we could fix this in 12 to 18 months. We can't fix racial justice in 12 to 18 months. If someone can't has that info, please, now's the time to share. But as far as I know, we can't put in some money into a venture and fix something. But this is fixable. We can fix this. I am going to fix this. If you want to help me, please come find me. And thank you. So who the hell wants to settle for their awesome rainbow coalition of friends looking like this when we know damn well it's supposed to look like this? Thank you.